Welcome to Eat This. Eat this. This week, we're having lunch with Haines, teacher, dancer, producer, beautiful human. We've worked together under their burlesque name, Tila von Twirl, sharing the stage and hiring each other for various shows we produce. Tila is also my burlesque dad. Be sure to come to an upcoming production they are helping choreograph and stage here in our bodies at Steppenwolf Theatre, February 26th, 27th, and 28th. Shameless plug. If you want to be surrounded by a witch cackle while you suddenly accomplish a ton of work with one of the most driven people I know, reach out to M. Also, if you want flexibility, strength, or release training, book a one-on-one session and join for Saturday virtual classes. For lunch, I went a little extra. Fish 3 ways using the same ingredients: fish, carrot, beet, fennel, and peas. Starting with a crudo set with pickled carrot, fennel, and pea puree, crispy beet greens, a pan-fried fish with roasted beets and peas, and a steamed fish, steamed in pea broth with carrot and fennel and pickled beets. Let's dive right in.
That's not the view. Neither is that. Amazing. Hello, the people of the internet.
Had a nice moment.
It's been something. Ooh, yeah. There's my light. Hi. I guess either I'm Moon Haines or I'm Tila von Twirl, depending on who's asking. You can find me on the internet at This Yogi Dances and Tila von Twirl. I love a consensual stalking.
So the goal for me in this season of Eat This is, I feel like work and creativity in my life have always kind of been at odds. Don't always play well together. Don't always overlap in the ways that I want them to. And I also don't fully understand what work is. So I have a question that we start off with. What is...
Can I ask a question first?
Yes.
Is that more of like how you're making money versus your creativity? Is that what you mean? Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes. But other times, even in a creative job that does make money, I feel like a natural impetus of creativity doesn't play well in that environment. So I'm curious, for you, in your experience, what is and is not creativity, and what is and is not work? Take that wherever it takes you.
That's a really interesting question, knowing where you're coming from, because the entirety of my life, in some ways, those have been linked.
Mm-hmm.
I have never not known. Yes, I've had jobs that were just restaurant jobs. Yes, I've had just like office jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've had to use creativity and creative problem solving, et cetera, creative thinking. And that is a thing that has made me successful at all of those things. It's being able to tie those together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I know how they are separate.
If they're not.
With my, I mean, you know, my mom is a dancer and artist, and I think my dad is as well in a very different way, and I think those have separated for him very much so. But my mom still has all of her creative jobs. It's an interesting question.
So we talk about work in contexts like self-worth, life's work, your job as work, culturally. And sometimes I feel like, well, what isn't work?
What
Like,
a Virgo question. I love you. What a beautiful Virgo question. I mean, I think anything can start to feel like work when you have to like literally work at it, when you don't want to do it. And even those creative jobs, I don't always want to fucking go do them because sometimes I'm just tired.
Right.
Sometimes I don't have the spoons.
Yeah. So work.
Sometimes tapping into that creativity part and letting that stay open is work. That's a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of energy.
So work is an expenditure of energy. Creativity is it's just confusing to me that we have separate words too. Maybe that's what you're enlightening us on.
Well, I think culturally the United States has this idea. There's such a puritanical separation of our mind and our bodies, which is the antithesis of creativity. Right? So, like, even just the thought of marrying those two and letting them live in the same place is like, that's why, man, dance education is just the first thing to get cut.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be out one of my jobs in the fall. If anyone's hiring. I'm a great creative problem solver. I bring a lot of experience to the table.
Yeah.
And I'm a delight, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, I feel like so many organizations, corporations, schools, when they want to bring a creative person in, are trying to tackle just that. Like, we have such a firm idea that brain and body live in separate places. But at the same time, we're like, no, actually, we need all that creative problem solving. No, actually, we need to have critical thinking. Oh, shock and awe. But we haven't figured out how to let go of this process of separating the mind and body.
I feel that.
Tangent.
No, that's exactly what this is about. I feel that a lot. It is a lack of. It is specifically like, oh, well, this way of creating works for my body, so it should work for yours. There's a lot of that mentality around work and creative work. I don't know. So far, I'm muddied the water on the whole thing in this.
I think your question also really has to do with, like, the corporal experience.
It does.
And I wonder, instead of work, it was brain, and instead of creativity, it was body.
So creativity for you is somatic experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
same.
Movement is my first language.
Yeah.
I process this way.
Even if it's not that I'm expressing with my body, I have an embodied reaction to the creativity that's happening. Even if I'm writing words down or whatever, whatever I'm doing. Totally. I love that definition. Creativity, or at least that, like, chipping away at a definition, that creativity is somatic. Because it's not that work doesn't involve your body, it just is not necessarily mindful. It doesn't necessarily come with an awareness. Am I trying to split hairs?
I just went on 5 different thought patterns at once.
Love that.
It's having me think about people who use their body for work. Like, people who do... So this is a thing that I've noticed teaching yoga in corporate spaces. The people that are using their bodies for work to get money, to create a product, to landscape, you know, why can't I think of the word? Manual labor. When they step into either a dance environment or like a yoga environment, they are not in here. They are in here. They are feeling and processing, and will be, as far as I have noticed, more available to accept verbal and physical feedback. So just say, like, in a down dog, I'm like, push through your fingers and feel the weight go into your feet. They like do it. But the people who are mostly doing this day in and day out, who live a lot up here and not so much in here, getting them to understand stuff in their body sometimes is like, okay, I said it this way, how do I need to say it? I've given you physical feedback. We've talked about it after class.
Right.
Like, it's a lot harder.
Right.
So, and maybe the splitting of hairs of like what work is, also maybe finding this other category of like this kind of work and this kind of work.
Right. Totally.
And how that is a different lived experience, and then how someone comes to physical movement, somatic movement, dance movement, which is, in my mind, it's your creativity. You're literally creating a thing with your body, in your body, for your body. Yeah.
I love that. I also thought about earlier when you were saying how we're just so bogged down in this like these puritanical ideas that make us draw these arbitrary distinctions and make it harder for us to have relationships with our bodies.
Demonized is a literal demonization of the body, and then it's so up how it gets fed back to us in media of like hypersexualizing people. The cognitive dissonance of that, I have started probably noticing that in middle school, and really starting to form a thought, an idea, and a feeling through my own lived experiences as well in like high school. Because also the 90s were a wild time, and to like come of age in that time.
Say more about that.
Like, this is going to seem like a really random reference, but like the hypersexualization of Britney Spears, and how she was essentially no longer, and then literally no longer in ownership of herself. Have you ever like watched back an interview? What were we doing? That person was a minor.
Yeah.
And then to like localize that to my own experience of growing up in a dance studio, and in a dance studio that was a lot different from the other studios around. There was a particular studio that was a bit more competition based, and I remember like, we would go around, like go to people's recitals just to see what they're doing, and like, you know, the Iowa dance community isn't huge. Supporting each other is a huge thing. But these kids who were like kindergarten, first grade in like two-piece bikinis doing like sexualized movement. I mean, and then there's also just such this fine line of like owning your body and moving it in a way that it's meant to be, but then having someone sexualize that. There's such a fine line in that. So like that cognitive dissonance of being like, you're like 6. I don't know. What we view as appropriate in sort of this vein in our puritanical ways. So that's what this country was founded on, was a lot of puritanism and violence. Hurt people. It's wild to me.
So, introduce yourself. I know you did, but if you want to do another one here, and then kind of talk about our overlap.
And
what we, just like more about what you do, what you enjoy, what you love to create.
There's so many questions at once.
Just introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Moon Haines. I also perform and work as Tila von Twirl, and that is how we met. I also work under Moon Haines. We met closer to my proximity of Tila von Twirl, teaching class at the Newport Theatre, where I produce and perform and work and have a nice time. Which, sidebar, I'm having so many feelings I'm still processing, knowing that that was the original space for Lynx Hall, and Lynx Hall is closing this weekend. And last night I went to, and that was such a huge part of like my creative development, not only as M, but as Tila. They really had a lot of crossover. Self-produced a lot of shows there. Performed for a lot of visiting artists. Took class. Did weird shit. Made some of my professors gay gasp. Feather fan dancing. Yeah, and I watched a coworker do a piece that she's been working on since the fall of last year. It was one of the last shows at Lynx last night. And like after her piece was done, was just like, oh no, I have a lot of feelings. had a good little cry. Got to shoot with a photographer I never thought I was going to shoot with, but always fantasized, William Federking, in the newer space, Lynx Hall Constellation on Western. So, lots of feelings about that, and like how my artistic path did not pan out in a way that I had visualized, but still has brought me so much creativity and joy and relationship. It's kind of wild.
Cool.
I thought I was going to move to New York.
When?
After I graduated college, I thought I was going to like fucking peace out, move to New York, go to San Francisco, be making wild, weird, silly, modern dance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time where I stopped having blisters on my feet because I wasn't really dancing in that way so much anymore, and I was having this like full-on crisis of self of like, who am I? My feet aren't bleeding. I'm rested, sort of. I don't understand. Uh-huh. But that didn't totally pan out because that was around 2008 and like fucking financial crash.
Yeah.
And then I got a yoga certification and met Lola Martinet, who was like, burlesque. And I was like, go on. I could really own my body in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because dancing in a company, you kind of give yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I always had a really hard time with, and I think there was a layer of gender in there I wasn't ready to navigate yet.
Tell me more.
Being non-binary wasn't necessarily a thing yet.
Was it something you were aware of in yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And always having to be in a hyper femme, like, let me put the hyper femme mask on. I'm pretty good at it. Almost too good at it. Like there's no, at the time, there was no like non-binary option. I mean, modern dance got close because gender wasn't always in the mix, but there still was like, this person probably does the lifting and this person probably gets lifted because they're stronger, and that's not really.
Yes.
There's such a puritanical separation of our mind and our bodies, which is the antithesis of creativity. Right? So,
I think I understand how it works.
Yeah.
Do you still use, as one of your taglines, putting the femme in them?
I do.
I love that tagline.
Yeah.
When did you discover that? What does it mean to you?
Probably around when I started performing again after lockdown, after COVID lockdown. That time also gave me, as shitty as that time was for so many reasons, gave me the time to like marinate and go, no, I'm definitely non-binary, and I don't owe you a gender expression.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a they, them. Please use those pronouns.
Yes.
Which I feel like I'll be saying until the day I die. The origami crane of sequins and pain wasn't really like landing anymore with me, even though that was a tagline that was gifted to me by Lola Martinet's husband. Putting the femme in them just felt more correct and timely, and like viscerally now.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It describes.
And it's them, THEMME. Femme, them. Alliteration. Yeah.
I have that you. Is this true? You have performed for Fleetwood Mac, Elton John, and Billy Joel.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that? What is it like to show your taint to Fleetwood Mac?
That wasn't necessarily a burlesque adventure,
Oh.
but burlesque has afforded me those opportunities. We didn't always get to watch the headliner, but we would be like, essentially like the opening entertainment.
Cool.
To like set the stage, do a little ditty. There was typically a full orchestra and a full choir.
What?
That would rewrite like popular songs. We would get the recordings of that so we could choreograph to that particular rendition of the popular songs. I remember the first year I did it, it was like it varied. The first year was like a 20-minute piece, costume changes and everything, aerial shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's like a rigging at this party?
Depending. It depended on their vision for the party, and Elton John is very sparkly. Elton John had a security team that would allow no one near him, and rightfully so.
Because Sir Elton.
Sir Elton John, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if I've ever been in the same room as any of those people, I do not know. That's really, really cool. It's just cool to see where art can take you, where you're, especially when you commit, right? Like that's what I see in your background, and that's what I really like learned from you. That's one of the big things that I've learned from you, is like, this is, go for it. Like go, lean in, go for it, and see where that leads. It's not gonna necessarily feel comfortable, but like, you're gonna make it work.
You're gonna learn something.
Yeah. Just like really, really cool.
Aw, thanks for that.
Thank you. You are also my burly dad.
I'm your really dad! I love being your really
House
dad.
of Twirl.
I feel like being all of y'all's burly dad has taught me that like I am making an impact, and like how I show up makes an impact, like just in a different way of like I 1000% have a tendency to minimize myself and my accomplishments, and I think I'm learning that I don't have to do that. Also, I don't want y'all to do that.
I don't want you to minimize yourself ever, because that's insane to me, because of the impact you've had on me alone, much less all of the other people who we're connected with. I know all of those people have been impacted by you immensely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to make shit and
But you like,
fuck the
that chair
patriarchy.
class changed the course of my life.
Yeah.
Completely.
That particular round of chair class was pretty special.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like coming back to your first question of like work and creativity, and I feel like we landed on that's like a somatic experience. I really feel like that's how we change. At least I've accepted that is like, however that ends up looking is like my ministry in this lifetime. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I can do, that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to help people to do, so.
Totally. I think it's
you
essential.
also have to be willing to do the work, do the reflection.
Definitely.
So when we can meet each other like that, I think that's really cool.
It is really cool. And then we get to make stuff together. And we get to be funny, queer, powerful, grotesque, and absurd.
Where'd that come from?
From your website.
I was like, wait, these words sound familiar. Oh yeah, I wrote that.
I just inserted myself in there too. This is me now too.
I know, I think that is like, that explains our house also to a T. That's so interesting, because I wrote that before we were the House of Twirl.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like that fits the house. Kind of circling back is that, like, longevity of career and relationship building and getting to have those opportunities, I don't think too many people have done that by being a diva asshole. You know? Kindness goes a long way, and that's not necessarily niceness. And people remember that shit.
It's not. What are some favorite things that you've worked on?
Recent history, but still kind of in the past, I got asked back to, and this was just like total happenstance. I happened to check my Moon Haines Facebook Messenger, which I don't ever do, and there was a message in there from a company, Hurley Dancers, that I used to dance with in Iowa. Like, these are all people that, like, I basically grew up with, and lived in the dance studio with, lived in the production with, and took back the most personal piece I've made to date. We Are the Magic, which is like a combination modern dance, burlesque-ish, acro chair number, which I would love to expand. And that was fun, and it was also really fucking hard. It was really hard, it was really vulnerable, it also felt really important and healing and very full circle. And I got to see, like, next generation do some of the choreography that I had done, like, 20-something years ago, and I was like, oh, I don't remember this, but as soon as the music came on, I was like, oh no, I think that exists in my body, and this is crazy, but I'm watching you do it, that's wild. So it was fun and hard. I think some of those big birthday parties were really fun, but there was also holiday parties that happened every year. And then we got asked to do some of the weirder shit for the holiday parties. And I remember one year we did Walk the Dinosaur. Bazooka was like the guy on Safari, and then we were all the dinosaurs. I will find you a photo of this. It was so fucking unhinged. They gave us like dino smiles and like this wild eye makeup. Jojo Baby was one of the makeup artists that worked on that. Like, Dress and Power Jojo Baby. I'm so glad we got to work on some of those unhinged productions together. Chicago Party Kid icon. And then we had, I forget what these tank tops said. Lindsay found them online somewhere that was like something about she's a good girl but she bites or something. I don't know. It was like weirdly unhinged. And then we had these like gloves. And then we just had this weird 4-minute number in the middle of this holiday party. These wild faces.
Incredible.
And like, oftentimes those experiences, like being there doing the thing is fun, but also the people that you work with, like, totally makes the experience. And like, we all enjoy each other, so like rehearsals were always a blast. That was fun. This is on my mind because Jeez Louise posted it on Facebook recently that at one time we were talking about having like a backup dancer business. Like I was about to make business cards for us and I think I totally forgot about it because we were showing up at a couple different festivals and people were like, you can 5, 6, 7, 8. Get in here. We need a backup dancer. We're like, okay, sure. I got something I could wear. And I think we were going to call it 5, 6, 7, 8 was the name of our backup dancing business. We were going to have like our faces on the business card. But we got to do this opening number. I forget if it was for the Legends night. I forget which night it was at Burlesque Hall of Fame. But it was me, her, Bazooka, and I forget the fourth person. We all got to like backup dance support like these fucking icons. Like I remember walking into our first rehearsal like I have to keep it together, but like that's Indigo Blue and then Juliet Miss Muse. Do I want to make out with her? Do I want to be her? The forever queer question. Oh no. And at one point in rehearsal for that I feel these hands on my hips out of nowhere and then I feel someone like just like hump me. And then I turn around and Julie Alice Muse is staring at my ass and just kind of goes, and then she like walks away. And I was like, did I just get felt up? And then we saw her in, so that was like, I don't know, that was just so super fun. And like the crowd at BHOF is always just like it's like the Newport times 100, that audience. It's so loud. Everyone's having such a good time. We saw her in the elevator, and I turn into the 12-year-old boy that I turn into, and I was just like, ah. Mind you, we've already like had rehearsal. We've like been in the same room and chatted with each other, but I'm still like, words? I don't know. I feel feelings. So I was like being fucking awkward, and I see her kind of go. And then I look at my spouse, and they're going, and I'm like, I don't know. And then she gets off the elevator, and then we're both in there, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm so weird. Why couldn't I have just said, hello? I really love your work, and I've admired you for a while, but instead I was just really fucking awkward. I feel like I'm blushing right now, and that was like 12 years ago. So dumb.
I love that.
So those were...
That's amazing.
Some fun ones that are on the top of my brain.
This was a creative endeavor for me. This meal was like really fun to create. And also we live in a time with like politically manufactured famine. And I think it's just really important to remember that there is utility in our creativity, and there's more than utility. There's life in our creativity, and that nourishing ourselves is still important, and nourishing ourselves in multiple ways is really important. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts to share, or if there's just like a moment of silence that you would like, or anything.
Man, so in kind of everything that we've talked about so far of like somatically being in and with our bodies and then with each other and how that can create such great shift. I want to believe, and I really want that to be like legacy vibes. And it's really hard to also feel like at the same time it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And like the old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it go to therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we're not collectively being crushed into silence and still continuing to create space and to support each other in ways that we can. And support those people that need it, who may not have access to a beautifully curated meal like this. Like, all of those organizations already exist in all of our locations. Like, how and what are we doing to support those people to do that work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And again, kindness goes a long way. Even towards an unhoused person. You don't know their life, you don't know how they got there. If you don't have money, just saying hello is a kindness. And is offering them dignity they probably don't have in a lot of spaces for how we, at least in the US, function and take care of those in need or not.
Yeah.
And like, beyond that, at like a more global scale, I don't know. I want to trust that I won't fall into apathy, but I am a human being. For just the amount of horror that human beings are capable of.
Yeah.
And how we have a front row seat to that on something like this every day, 24 hours a day.
Yes. I feel strongly that gratitude is an important way to resist apathy, because it requires looking at the big picture. Here I was complaining about the undersalted fish, then the oversalted beets. Jokingly, I don't actually. But like, gratitude brings me back to a place of like, well, at least I have beets at all. Like, at least I have some fish. At least I have food. There are so many. Yeah, I feel like gratitude is important.
I think there's a thread back into how and when we are moving our bodies to not fall into that freeze too.
Dance, or else we're lost.
I think about that for all of the people, you know, in multiple countries who are experiencing genocide, who are experiencing, how did you phrase that? Politically induced famine?
Yeah, politically manufactured famine.
Politically manufactured famine. Yeah, that's so accurate. Disgusting.
It is. It is not the case that we lack resources for these people. There are political reasons these people don't have resources.
We don't lack resources for the people in our own fucking country that are starving.
Exactly.
My
Yes.
God.
And that is also politically manufactured. There are political reasons that we don't have resources for these people who need it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Not only like the resources, but like the ability for like a reintegration. Yeah. As well. I forget which states are building free housing for people.
I've not heard about that.
I think it's,
That's cool.
I want to say Arizona and one other state. Shocker.
Yeah.
It works. If you have stable housing, you have an address, you have the ability to then go get a job.
Yeah.
And like, since we're still doing capitalism, continue to spread that stability throughout your life. Oh, hello, little jumping spider.
Oh my goodness,
Like,
little baby.
I have shit to say.
Do you want to join in
Also,
on
that
the
collard
conversation?
green looks really good.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
Oh god, you are a jumping spider. Please
Are you
just
okay with?
stay away from my body. I don't want to squish him. I just don't want him to jump on my body. You are looking at me? Cool. If you jump at my body, I'm gonna freak out, and I'm sorry.
What are your dreams for the future?
Just a casual question.
It's been a casual conversation.
I like the House of Twirl really knows how to keep it casual. There is like an ego part of me that COVID and some injuries. I was reading one of Jeezy's birthday posts about how she's feeling about like in her career and whatnot, and I was like, oh, I just really feel that. How like just life stuff like COVID and some pretty intense injuries like really took away from of what I thought was like career trajectory. So there's an ego part of me that's like, well, I'm not dead yet. I'd still really like to tour because I think I still have it in me. I don't know if that is how much of a reality that is for like future dream. There's like an ego part of me that's like, I'm not done yet.
We never dream for it to be like because we think it's possible now.
Yeah.
I will help with that. That sounds incredible.
I also just, there's this part of me that has been flexed a lot lately is like really tempering the reality of what is in my body. And like how my brain is functioning or not. Like I had a friend who was like, oh, are you going to Super Sapphic tonight? And I was like, well, I would like to go, but I think it's going to be super flashy club time. And then I'll be really hella disappointed that I'll get there and want to be like dancing my queer life and then have to leave because my brain is melting out of my body.
Yes.
And I can't handle with too much light sensitivity and sound sensitivity.
Yes.
It was still fun. Just need a daytime no lights party.
Yeah. That sounds incredible. Let's make that happen.
I also am really passionate about opening up a space. I'm concerned that I thought coming into this year, I was like, this year's the year. And now I'm like, I don't know. Do I just need to trust the process? I just need to like find some funders. If anybody wants to invest in a queer healing space, I would really love, my ultimate dream for that space is to buy a building and there's a backyard. The bottom part is like where people rent space, where people come. I've finally come to, I need to get back into Thai massage. Like I'm not utilizing that part of myself. I need to like remember what that is in my body. Bring other healers in. Have events. Have dance classes. Have yoga classes. Have personal training. And then we live upstairs. Yeah.
That's amazing. This is an attainable dream.
It's like my dream.
These are all attainable. I believe.
And then I like garden in the back. And have like food beds.
Sounds incredible.
And maybe like a private client comes over and I'm like, ugh, I have an abundance of kale. Would you like some kale?
Yeah. And they're like, obviously, I came here for the kale.
Yeah.
I love those dreams. We're going to make a sculpture about food we just ate.
Through my panic dancers, I was like,
We don't have to film our creative process. Eat this.
Eat this.
to your own. Put your butt back. Yeah. Lean more. Chest. Lean more. More. Yes. Ha.